lost one brother when I was 17 and the other one when I was 40. I was 17. We were living together, so he was in my daily life. And at 40, my brother was in a different country, but I was very close to both of them. And I find that sibling grief is sometimes a little bit overlooked. And I find that sometimes the constellation in a family shifts. I feel like as a sibling, you kind of take on the role of looking after everyone, but you don't really acknowledge your own grief. People would always ask me, "Oh, how's your mom doing? How's your mom doing? How's your grandma? But what about me?" It was as if my grief was not as valid. Losing a sibling is really particular in a sense that our relationships to our siblings are extremely powerful. They start from birth, and they're quite often the longest relationships of our life. Siblings make us, they see who we become and why we became and how we became. And there's just something very intrinsic that needs to be acknowledged when this stops, because they're a huge part of our identity, and there's a huge loss and crash of our identity when we lose a sibling.
I also found that when my brother died, it was partly, the fact that he wasn't there anymore, but it was also what it did to the family unit and like the fracture of all of the other relationships as well. Yeah. Like suddenly the relationship with my parents changed, the relationship between my parents changed, like everything shifted. Yeah. I also had a lot of people asking, like, how are your parents doing? I don't remember ever directly being told this, but basically it felt like the message was like, you've got to be strong. Yeah. Like it's your responsibility now to look after everyone, without the sort of acknowledgement that I was also, had just lost one of the most significant people in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. And the thing you mentioned about, the change of dynamics in a family, this is also something no one prepares you for, because everyone will grieve in their own way. There's just a lot of emotions coming into play, and it's super complex.